Hey, this is Austin Awkward, and I'm Adam. Here's some things that I think are awkward. Looking at myself on camera, really awkward. Makes this whole process a little uncomfortable for me. Also, thinking that I should be more attractive probably does not help. And it probably makes me behave like a crazy cockatoo when I'm recording these things. You know what else is awkward? Kids. Right? I've got a couple of my own, and they're awkward. And I can tell you from the very get-go, kids are awkward, right? You start off with your wife, she gets pregnant, and all of a sudden her body's doing awkward things, and people start coming up and groping her, and they start giving you all sorts of input and advice about pregnancy and about children and names and, oh my gosh, how to raise kids. Unsolicited advice from everyone and their mothers mothers in most cases. And at the same time, of course, you're doing everything you can to read up about how to raise kids, and so it's just a very awkward phase in the life of any human being. And then you go from there. To the children being born, and all of a sudden, for a week or two, you got a honeymoon period, right? You tell your coworkers and your family and friends, you can't wait to go and tell them all about what your child has done. Oh, my kid pooped, and it was super exciting. Or, oh, we slept through the night for the first time. Yay! The truth is, 99.9% of those anecdotes and stories are completely pointless, and most people don't care. They're very happy for you that you have a child, but they've probably already gone through it, or they haven't gone through it, so they have no idea what you're talking about. But either way, they don't care that much. And so you become that awkward guy who walks around the office and the church and talks to your friends about your baby instead of, the normal things people want to talk about, weather, sports, whatever it is. So then they grow into the toddler phase. That's the phase I'm at now. My oldest is 5. So this is the phase in which you suddenly become keenly aware about everyone else's opinion on the way children should behave. And that's probably not a good thing, right? Like all of a sudden you get really worried that your son is going to, if your son throws something at another kid, like he's 5, he didn't understand how to share and he threw something, but you get really worried because you don't want to be judged by some other parent. You want to be seen as an inferior parent. And, kids do that. They throw temper tantrums, they yell, they do weird things. Kids do really weird things for very strange reasons. And you can't even really always understand what those reasons are. But the problem is that sometimes you get caught up in really being concerned more about what the other people who might be involved or who might be judging you are thinking instead of being concerned about your kids, right? And so you might act, you get a little angry with them, you get short with your kids. I've done it. It's not a good thing. There's days where I'm like, man, if I didn't have kids today, this would be a different day, which is an awkward way to feel. But the truth is, that's a shortcoming on my part, and a shortcoming on all the parts of all parents. Like, why are we so concerned about what other people think about our children? Why aren't we more concerned about raising our children to feel loved and accepted, to feel valued in everything that they do, and to understand that they will always have a place where they can be themselves without judgment, without fear, in their parents' home and in their parents' hearts. I don't know what it is about us that we feel the need to forget that part of the puzzle and focus more on other people's opinions. But it's something that makes for an incredibly awkward life, to be frank. If you go around worrying about what everyone else thinks about you or your kids or anything for that matter, and you don't worry first and foremost about yourself and about your loved ones, your children, then life's going to be pretty awkward. Sometimes I get caught up and I miss that point, but my hope is that most of the time I don't. My hope is that my children always feel loved, they always feel accepted, and they always know that they're going to be safe in this home. So that's my awkward moment for the day. I thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.